Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Five Large Fries, and welcome to the first episode of the Realm of Fries podcast, the most egotistical motherfucking podcast you'll ever hear, because it's named after me, clearly. So, I am Five Large Fries. With me today is Flatline Plays
Hello.
and Inferno Rogue. Rouge.
All right.
Now, we call you Inferno Rogue, but your username's actually Inferno Rouge 8D, right?
Because
Oh
I
my
spelled it
God.
wrong, because I'm dyslexic. It's meant to be rogue, but it turned out rouge. But
That's
it works out alright because it's Inferno, which is fiery red. So it works. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
good coincidence.
Yeah, so for short, we usually just call you Inferno, right?
Yeah.
And then Flatline, we don't call you Flatline Plays, we just call you Flatline, so...
probably flat like anything, to be honest, mate. I respond to most things, but the Inferno comment made me laugh straight away because it's gone on for a long time. I've known Inferno for a few years now, and when I first met him, I was like, is it Rogue? Is it Rouge? And it's just, since that day, some
I
people
did try
call
to
him
play it off,
Rouge.
though. I did try to play it off. And
It almost...
I was like, no, I couldn't.
That's brilliant, though, like, because I think a lot of people just do a double take and they just say the first thing that they see, and I think a lot of people tend to see Rogue anyway, so...
Yeah, when people like shout me out or something, they always go, "Oh, Inferno Rogue," and then some do actually take a double look at it and they go, "Oh no, that's Rouge. I'm sorry." I'll be like, "Nah, I'll take the first one."
Have you never thought of changing it? I suppose it would lose its
I
essence,
actually,
though.
I like it's nostalgic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a mistake that's actually like I like.
You're a funny mistake.
Oh, thank you.
A happy little accident.
A happy accident, man. Bloody,
Oh,
But the
God,
worst
Ross.
one is, I did ask my missus to make sure the spanner was right. As
oh
well.
no! So
It went
she...
through 2 filters and it still
It went
failed.
yeah, I was like, yeah. That's one thing. It's funny.
She probably just like looked at it and went, yeah, okay, babe.
Yeah, I think she did. Yeah, looked and palmed it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably gave it a glance and was just like everything else of yours, like, yeah, it's fine, just go do it. Be like, cheers.
Oh dear. So, for those of you who don't know any of us, I mean, I know you probably don't know me, right? So, I think all of us here stream, right?
Yes.
Yeah, mate, yeah. We'll stream a bit on Twitch, don't we?
Yeah. So, like I say, I stream on Twitch, Flat, and everyone else streams, and we'll leave all the links to that in the description of the show. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be somewhere, right? It'd be somewhere. So
Yeah.
I do a variety of stuff. If you look at my branding, it's more Halo-esque branding. I did originally say at one point that I would focus more on Halo, but that kind of went out the window when Outriders came out. The disappointment of a fucking game that was. But we played the shit out of it. I mean, we played the shit out of it. Hmm.
I mean, Outriders look good. I mean, I never got into it enough as I should have. I didn't keep up with you guys as you were leveling through. It looked good. I kind of felt it was going to be a bit shallow on the end game. It's good for what it is. And if you've got Game Pass, man, should you play it? You really should, But I can't recommend people to pay 50 quid for it, But then again,
Story's good,
I feel
though.
like I'm spoiled nowadays. I've said this a
Mhm.
few times because of Game Pass. I feel like I'm spoiled. I find it hard to buy a game. I do like £50. I'm like, it's not that bad, and the developers worth the money. They deserve the money, But like, if I wait 3-4 months, it's going to be on Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. I think what's interesting about that is we don't know the full ins and outs on how developers get paid because of that. Like, do they get paid on like a download basis? Like,
It depends, mate. They do. So some of that's come out. Some of them get paid on they get paid a chunk up front, and then they get paid by how many people are downloading it. Some get just a chunk up front. It depends on the developer. They do it per developer basis.
wow, so you
Bit
could be
like
like a
Netflix,
small...
though, isn't it?
Sorry, yeah, I guess you could be like a small indie developer, right? And you could be like, oh yeah, I'll get a big chunk and not get any extra for the downloads. And that game could like take off, right? And they get nothing for it. They just get that chunk. Which
It's really good. Normally they apparently Game Pass covers the cost of the price of making the game, and obviously they sell it elsewhere as well. And they're saying that those that buy it on Game Pass, the amount of money they're making on engagement is pretty good as well. But like Outriders, for example, on Xbox, it came out on Game Pass. You'd think it wouldn't make many sales. It did. It made loads of sales on Xbox, which is surprising. You know, a lot of people buy it on, they'll get it on Game Pass and then they'll buy it
Yeah.
because they loved it so much. I mean, fair play to them.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I know there's a few games that I've done that either I've bought and then it's gone on Game Pass, or like I've bought it, like pre-ordered it, thinking, oh yeah, this is really good, and suddenly they've gone, oh yeah, by the way, it's on Game Pass. I'm like, okay, cool. There's a few games that were like that actually. Sea of Thieves is one of them. I pre-ordered that and that went straight on Game Pass. So, and I think, I mean, naturally, Halo is one that I'm just gonna chuck money at anyway. So, you know, which really excited for Infinite. Like, I really can't
I'm
wait.
really I'm looking forward to it. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen in it, on E3 because everyone's been waiting for this. It's going to have to be a good showing. I think they're going to show a lot more multiplayer than they are single player, but they've had a whole year now, haven't they? Well, they're going to have a whole year by the time it comes out. It's been a long time since we've seen the last trailer, and the last trailer, it looked good in places, but yeah, the lighting wasn't good, and occasional pop in and stuff. And to be fair, Craig's face,
Craig's
no one's
face,
going to
man.
live that down. That's amazing.
You got to
Craig's
remember
face.
though, that's on old gen. Now they got new gen. They're getting actually up
Oh,
everything.
that was
Can't
on
they?
Series X, mate, last time. They just
Oh, it's
didn't.
on Series X.
So
Ah,
there's Craig's face.
Craig's face.
Yeah, that was on the Series X, but they said they hadn't animated his face and that because it's supposed to be behind armor and other stuff like that. It wasn't ready at that point. They were just showing it, but they'll never live that down, will they? They'll
No.
never live that down.
but the thing is, if they're not going to show his face on that part of the scene anyway and they're hiding it, then they should just put the freaking helmet on.
I think his helmet got shot off, didn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
I
think
don't know. I don't think he did. I can't remember.
He's supposed to. Oh, that's horrific, then, man. He is horrific, to be fair. Like that is something of nightmares. That smile, the Craig smile.
It's like the runt a litter of King Kong, isn't it?
Oh dear. But
Looks like me with if I shave my my mustache.
wait, you have a mustache?
Well,
I thought you had no hair, dude.
Okay.
Hey, if you got no hair on top, you make it on the beard.
Yeah, exactly. You make it up.
I think
I'm going to grow it, Pritt stick it, and I'll be fine, mate. Chop it off and Pritt stick it to the top of my head. I'll be fine.
I was gonna say, I think out of this podcast, I think I'm the only one that's got like actual hair on the top of my head, but that's probably gonna start falling off soon. I'm old fucking man now, you know what I mean?
I don't know, mate. Alopecia got me out of the blue. Just so out of the blue. I woke up one morning and a patch was gone, and I was like, "Where the hell did that go?" And it wasn't on the pillow. And then, as the days went on, I just occasionally lose a patch, grow a patch, and I was like, I got fed up with it, so I'm like, I'm just shaving it all off.
Yo, I'm
I
not
was
being
just
funny.
fucked anyway. I looked at my old man and saw his hairline. I went, no luck for me here.
My old man's still got hair. You know what I mean? My old man's still got hair.
Yeah, but you can
Damn
still
it.
grow your hair back. There is like creams and that lot that can help you. People with
Wait.
alopecia.
That sounds dodgy to me, mate.
I
Creams.
just about to say, alopecia sounds like a really exotic stripper name. Like,
It does,
give it
doesn't
up for alopecia.
She comes on in
It does
Big-
strip your
big
hair,
chunky
so it might strip
thighs.
clothes.
big chunky thighs, man.
You just as she's walking, just hear clap, 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 clap as her fucking
reason, I
cheeks
just
slapping
pictured-
together.
I pictured Lady Dimitrescu, mate, coming on in. I don't know why.
you just want to get that so you can slap her with a fly swatter, can't you? You seen them videos?
I want the mod, mate. Have you seen the mods for Resident
they're
Evil 8?
crazy.
It's just like, have you seen the Thomas the Tank Engine one? Thomas the Tank
No.
Engine. Thomas the Tonk Engine? That's the one.
I
Yeah,
wonder-
there's one of her, like literally they changed her face to Thomas the Tank Engine, and it just looks so scary, man. It is so scary.
Fuck that. But yeah, anyway, so intros. We kind of got sidetracked. You're gonna see that a lot in this podcast. We'll get sidetracked a lot, and that's fine. It's just part of the fun, right? So yeah,
But, of course.
so yeah, I like my Halo. I stream. What else do I do? I like to write, so I'm currently writing a book at the moment. I haven't got a name for it yet, but it's it is what it is. I won't read it on here because it'll probably bore everyone to sleep.
It's not a choose your own adventure, is it?
It's a
Well
choose
up
your own
there.
adventure. Yeah. Turn to
Nice.
page 36 if you want to do this, and you turn to page
You just see
36.
Craig's face.
Yeah, it's just a drawing of Craig's face smiling back at you.
It's underneath you lose.
Yeah, yeah. No, but it was
Game
instead
over.
of saying you lose, it's like you lose? Question mark.
He starts smiling.
Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, so like I like to do that. So that's something that I do in my free time. I got a nice little fancy pen that cost me like 24 pound, which is about like $32 for those listening in the US. Yeah. It's a nice old Parker pen, I tell you. It's got like golden tips. I mean, I wish I had a golden tip. I mean, more women
Golden
would want
what?
me.
Oh, tips. Sorry.
Tips, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so that I mean, and the other thing is, I'm a bit of a fucking idiot, right? Like, I ain't gonna deny that. I'm stupid. I'm a big stupid boy, and I like to make people laugh, which is why I decided to do a podcast and make it so egotistical and be about myself, because I am a very professional comedian.
I've known you for years, Fries, and you're down to earth, man. You like to have a laugh, and that's why when you said about doing the podcast, me joining in, I'm happy to, man. It's always nice to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
You
I
can put
mean,
up my ramblings.
the ramblings are
Oh, here
fucking
he goes
hilarious.
again.
I do it on stream quite a bit. I feel bad. I just start rambling about something.
Well,
I can't
seeing
help
as
it.
you like to ramble, why don't you ramble off some stuff about you, like do your
Ramble
little
off some
intro?
stuff about me.
Yeah.
So I'm Flatline Plays. I stream on Twitch. I've been gaming since I was a wee little boy. I'm back on the old Commodore 64 and all that stuff.
Back when you were in the womb, right?
Yeah, back when I was in the womb, man, kicking away, trying to get out, trying to get my gamepad, trying to get on the keyboard
You're
and mouse
like,
as quickly as I could.
yeah, you were like kicking your mum's stomach, like, give me a controller. She's like, okay, just slides a controller in there for you.
Oh.
Oh,
Like, it would have had to be like a Mega. No, not even the Mega Drive controllers were out then, mate. So it would have been a horrible size. Those old controllers weren't very.
When the Amigas had the big joystick.
yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Oh yes, with the one button joystick. Oh man, those were the days.
Actually
Yeah,
worse.
it's my
Good bit
stream
of
away on
Street Fighter
Twitch.
paddle.
I do all sorts on Twitch. We do community raids and Division, do a bit of speed running, play some horror games, all sorts. And I ramble a lot, so that's just me. And Inferno, you stream as well on Twitch, don't you, dude? I've seen you've been picking it up more recently. You were playing Sea of Thieves last night.
yeah.
I actually managed to raid you, mate, on Twitch. It was first time I managed to do that to you.
And I was battling a bloody ghost ship, and I was like, panic!
Trying to do two things at once.
I was just having a little chilled stream, just doing little bits and bobs on Sea of Thieves, and then that comes with a big raid. I was like, hey, I'm ready for this. Get the cannons ready.
With streaming, it just takes a little while, doesn't it? You get used to multitasking, but I mean, even me at points when a big raid comes in, I lose it a bit on the game. It's that half focus, isn't it? You're half focusing on both, so you're never going to get 100% out of both. It just takes time.
I can confirm that sometimes, like, especially if you've watched my streams at all, you'll notice that I like to do these really shit drawings, but they're so funny,
them.
right? And when I'm doing them, I just like completely zone in on these drawings to the point where like I completely like miss over chat at all. Like I'll be there drawing and I'm focused, and I don't even see chat going because I'm that focused. And after I snap out of it, I'm just like, oh yeah, shit, chat.
I like your little drawings. They're really good. I mean, I'm really bad at drawing. I'm just really bad at drawing. I've always been bad at drawing. I don't think it's ever going to change. I think I'm past that point now. But like watching your streams and watching those drawings you do in that, and even if you're just doing things like tell what it is, you know what I mean? It's different, man. I like it. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't claim to be an artist by any means, but I still add that little signature at the bottom. Like,
I like that
mate,
unicorn picture you done, and it was exactly like one of the games on Xbox.
oh yeah, there was I think it was Paladins. They had like a bundle, and on the bundle it was a fucking someone riding a unicorn. I'm like, wait a minute. I promise I didn't look at this before I made the drawing. It was like so one-on-one identical with this thing, except for like this was like mine was clearly better, right?
Yeah, definitely better.
Yeah. It was like mine was clearly like the final draft.
should have got money for that, man. Send it in.
Yeah, I
Like,
should have. Listen here.
Think
Here's
about Halo Infinite. What are you hoping for from Halo Infinite, Fries? Because I mean, if anyone
oh,
has been,
so
looking forward to it, it's you, I think, mate, more than
yes.
anyone.
So if anyone hasn't played the Halo series, then this is a little bit of a minor or major spoiler. I'm not sure. I think it's it sounds like they're retconning. If you don't know what retconning is, it means like they're writing out a piece of story, and making it like obsolete and not part of the story. So it kind of sounds like they're retconning the story of 5, which is a good and a bad thing. I think it's personally I didn't mind the story of 5. I thought it was all right.
Okay.
But for what it's worth, it like if you didn't play 5, like it was based on like the Guardians for the Forerunners built, these big giant like fucking robot-y type things. And essentially what happened is Cortana ended up going rampant and was ended up getting control of these things and became like the big threat in the galaxy at that point, like past like the Covenant and all that, because these Guardians are like super fucking powerful.
Yep.
And that's basically how Halo 5 ended, is like she's got all these like Guardians, and the UNSC are like basically fleeing from that essentially. And it's what's interesting is it seems like Infinite is either a spin-off of the first one, or it's hopefully will follow on from 5. I don't think it will. I think it will be its own story. But
Maybe they're going to do something like they did with the Flood, like because I remember playing the first Halo, right, and it was amazing for its day, and then you get to that point, and there's the Flood, and no one expected they weren't in the marketing, no one knew they were there, and there was no people weren't rampant on the internet back then. You
Yeah.
weren't finding out stuff about it, so no one knew. I remember us group of mates, close mates, that were playing it. And we all got to the Flood, and it was just like, what the hell are these things? I wonder if they're going to do the same thing where, like, out of nowhere, the Guardians come halfway through the game or something, because they've not shown anything about it. And maybe they're
Yeah.
going to tie it. Maybe it's a different part of the galaxy slightly, and they haven't got there.
Well,
I
I
don't know.
think it is, if I remember rightly, I could be wrong. I think Infinite is based on the Zeta Halo. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. So it could be. What it feels like is they're kind of doing what they did with Devil May Cry, where they're reimagining the first Halo game. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Okay.
The
But-
thing, the thing I see with it at the moment is they got new gen, they got fresh start to like build on it, and will they go down the route like you say and carry on the story, or redo the story in like a different like meta, but for new people who've never known Halo, get that new custom in. Because that's the thing. I think because it's been so long since the other one, old like last one, to get the new interest in, you need to get like the new generation involved in it more.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true, but I mean, I would hope they wouldn't completely shun it to one side without saying. Because normally they'd say like this is a reimagining of Halo, or they, if games do that, they say quite early on. But nothing's been said about that. It hasn't said like it's not a continuation. You know what I mean? And to be fair, it looks like we're fighting quite a few enemy types that weren't there on Halo One. So I mean, they might be completely starting it from scratch, but I don't feel that's the way with this one
Well,
for some reason.
I know they were on about bringing the Banished in, and the Banished were it's kind of like the Covenant in a way, but that was from Halo Wars 2. So it depends. What this could end up being is it could be like the events before like 5, but I don't know how they would do that because like the way 4 ended was like essentially Cortana was, again, this is big spoilers for anyone that hasn't played it, so I'm sorry if I'm gonna apologize in advance. You can skip a couple of seconds ahead or whatever. But yeah, with 4, Cortana quote unquote dies, and yeah, so like how if it was like coming from the events of 4, like between 4 and 5, then I don't know how that's gonna work because in a lot of the stuff that you see that we've seen from 5, it looks like I was about to say it looks like Halo. It looks like Master Chief has got like a new AI chip, so makes you wonder.
Right. I mean, the thing is, at the beginning of this Halo Infinite tease we've had, the Master Chief was in space, floating, wasn't he? And
Yeah.
Matey collected him. I don't know what was that guy's name, to be fair. It's quite well detailed, but I don't know his name.
Collector.
Yeah,
I
his
mean, you
name's
find out about
Character.
his family. His name's Craig.
Craig. Craig's collector.
Everyone's Craig now. Yeah, they catch him from space, don't they? Bring him in, repowers him. So where's that fitting in from the storyline? Is that finishing after 5? Because as bad as this sounds, I never finished 5. I've got to go back.
Nah, it's not. It's not because 5.
Okay.
I think 5 ends with Locke saving Master Chief from a cryptum, which is like like a little prison type thing.
Why is he in space?
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
This is asking someone who's like a real Halo
Yeah,
buff, and even he's
only
like, I don't know.
the only time he's been floating around in space was at the end of 4, but he gets collected
4.
anyway.
Yes, yeah.
Like he gets collected anyway. So
Unless this is after 5, though. They're going to do the memory loss plot.
The memory loss plot, the power down.
Yeah.
He had enough power for like 2,000 years.
What's my name? I don't know
Yeah.
who I am.
they'll do the stereotypical first episode
Amnesia.
of any anime where it's like, yes, I forgot. This is your first day on the job. Let me explain everything in full detail so the audience knows exactly what's going on.
Always the same, man. Always, or the amnesia plot where you go, you don't know who you are, and you slowly figuring out the story as you go through.
Flashbacks.
Yeah.
Oh, they could actually do that. That'd be quite a good one. The memory loss from the start, and then you do flashback gameplay of going through all the Halos to get your memory back.
Yeah, I think that would piss off some Halo fans. That really would. I mean, like the Master Chief not knowing who he is. I mean, what?
And in
Like,
fairness,
what?
that doesn't, as far as I'm aware, that doesn't happen to Spartans anyway.
They're weird, aren't they? Spartans have been experimented on as kids all the way up, and they've been trained and all that, haven't they?
Yeah, they're basically snatched. This is the sad thing about it is if you're not aware of the actual lore behind like Spartans and stuff, because they don't explain it in the games because it's really fucking brutal, right?
It is brutal.
So essentially, what happens with Spartans is, I think it's either Oni or the UNSC. They snatch like a child from a young age, like at the age of like 6, 7, sort of that age range, right? And they replace them with a genetically like everything's the same, like a clone of that that child, right? But the child's doomed to die, right? The clone's doomed to die. They give him like this really like horrible like disease, and the child dies. Like, and it's so brutal because the parents end up thinking, "Oh, my child's dead," right? Because the clone dies. But in reality, the child's actually been taken to be trained on and genetically altered, like with this like, I don't know what the fuck it is. But even then, like going through like that process, not many Spartans, like, I mean, like there's a lot of in the lore, there's a lot of fatalities in that as well. Like some Spartans, some people that get this modification and stuff, like don't go through the process well and end up either being like paralyzed or like not like fit to like wear like the Mjolnir suits. And it gets to a point where like some of the what you'll see is a lot of the people who are like the the top dogs in like a lot of the ships and stuff, they're usually people that have been like gone through this process but cannot like do things that a Spartan can. Like they're disabled in some form of fashion.
It's really quite rough, isn't it? The
Mm.
whole story. When you actually look into the backstory of the Spartans and that, it's like, oh Jesus! But I suppose they are in some kind of like galactic war, universe war. The whole time you were speaking about that, though, I've just been staring at Craig's face, and I can't stare away, man. It's like hypnotic.
Oh dear.
It's hypnotic. So
He's
those that
just
don't
there,
know,
and he's
Five
just
Large
there.
Fries. Five Large Fries put a picture in the chat here of Craig zooming in, and he starts to smile, and it's just hypnotic. I'm actually gonna look. I've got. Hang on. Turn that off for a sec because it's getting too much.
Yeah. The
You need some time
interesting
with Craig for a bit.
Yeah, he's inviting me in, man. He's
The-
inviting me in.
the interesting thing about the lore as well. I mean, you've got me fucking like, you sly dog. You got me monologuing. There's the interesting thing about the suits that Spartans wear, right? Is it's not as, I mean, technically they are tailored like to like Spartans, but if a regular person was to wear it, it would most likely kill them, right? There was one guy, like it was like just a regular UNSC type of person, and he got like he went in to like test the armor, right? And because in the lore, like Spartans move like so fucking fast and stuff like this, like the guy, like a regular dude, not like not been experimented on, just like a regular dude like me and you, got put in in like one of the Mjolnir suits, like the suits that the Spartans wear. Went to like just slightly move his arm, and it completely dislocated his arm from his socket, and he's in so much pain that he then went to like move like his other arm to like grab the other arm, and then that one ended up dislocating. And then because he's in so much pain, he goes to move like his head, like to go and it like just completely essentially like dislocates him and kills him.
That's
Because
lovely.
yeah,
I wouldn't recommend walking into that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll stick to my bathrobe.
yeah,
Is
it's
this like the
so,
dark side of Halo?
yeah, it's so brutal. Like the only people that can wear these suits are people that have been genetically like altered to essentially wear them.
Universal soldiers.
Yeah, essentially.
Universal
There.
soldiers.
Anyway, on that brutal note, Inferno, do you want to carry on doing your intro?
Yeah, actually, we got lost there.
All right. My name's Inferno Rouge or Rogue, depending on what you want to call me, with the 8D as a smiley face.
Little
I
chode.
am 6'4", a big lanky man, beautiful and bold. I'm only joking. I'm not
Beautiful
that
and
vain.
bold.
Nah, was it? I game a lot in the evenings. During the day, I look after my daughter. So when it comes to night time, I like to have a little chill, play on. Met Flat through Division 2 when he was trying to do a raid. He couldn't find a team, and he met me, and he was like, "I'm not sure about this lad. I don't think he's got things." And then in the end, we got together, and we were smashing speed runs on Division 2.
Come up trumps, man. You were my main partner to run through speed runs on group missions on Division 2. I remember bugging you. I was like, "You reckon you can do this with me?" And you were like, "Yeah, we'll give it a go." And just cracked on it, man. Started smashing those speed run times. That was a
We
while
saw the
back, though.
market though on there, didn't we? That's the good thing. But yeah, that's where I got started speed running games, probably Division 2.
I think I dragged you into that, didn't I? Oh, you did really well though, surprisingly, mate, for not being interested to start off with. The amount of work you put into it, you know what I mean? Fair play to you.
I've
Strong
got a
enough to
weird
handle it on
brain,
your
haven't
own.
I? I've got a
Sorry,
weird
mate?
brain. I've got a weird brain when it comes to like learning areas and spawn trapping and shit like that, and finding little cheeses on bosses, which you were like, "You sure this going to work?" I was like, "Yeah, trust me."
Great minds, man. Great minds. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of strategies that you came up with. I think you were the first person to
I
actually
think I think
figure out that you could kill the boss early on a couple of missions.
yeah, and because of that, I got him to nerf the freaking special ammo, didn't I?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the thing with Division 2. I love speedrunning the game, love the game, put a lot of hours into it, but the amount they
Grind's quite
change
good.
stuff makes it really hard, it makes what's also slightly annoying about it is that you've got all these leaderboards for the missions and stuff. the level 30 leaderboards, and then obviously they bring out new gear, and then they, bring out an expansion, and all those times are funked, and they haven't got a separate category for them. So your old speedrun times that can be beaten by completely different builds that are easier, or maybe some harder, they should have different categories, like a level 30 speedrun, and then that should be archived of how it was at level 30, then 40. But I could ramble about that for ages,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That grinds my gears too.
It does,
Yeah.
man, it does.
I used to, was it before Division, or when I met Flat in Division 2, I normally used to play a lot of like FIFA,
What?
Ark.
That's where your FIFA skills came from.
I'm always good at. Oh, to be fair, I'm a good all rounder. I'm a good all rounder, no master in anything, but just good at everything.
Jack
Yeah,
of all
just
trades, ace of none.
yeah.
Yeah, man. No, you're
Except for
better
when
than
it comes
that,
to
though.
racing games, too. I think racing games, I miss my steering wheel. I used to have a proper sim steering wheel.
What happens to
And
that?
I
Sell
sold
it.
it for FIA.
Ah, fair play, fair play.
But then FIA was pretty cool because yeah,
Oh,
I just can't get hold
oh,
of a graphics card. I can't get a
I
graphics
love
card.
FIA.
I'm gonna
oh,
cringe
dude.
again. I'm gonna rant again. I've had enough. I can't get hold of a graphics card. I've had enough. I'm gonna go find someone, and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but somehow I'm gonna get a graphics card out of them.
Don't, because oh
That's my
man,
plan.
I'm so triggered right now about that. There was so let's talk about graphics cards real quickly. So Nvidia recently announced that they're doing a 3080 Ti, or how they called it, a Ti. The 3080 Ti, and then the 3070 Ti, right? And they launched the 3080 Ti. I'm just going to call it how we all call it, right?
Yeah.
And they launched this on the 3rd, and they said, okay, on the 3rd at 2 p.m. like in the UK, we're gonna launch this 3080 Ti. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm refreshing the page, and it's not like coming up. It's not coming up. No listings, no listings. And then eventually it gets listed. I'm like, oh, cool. So I hit the go buy button, and it takes me to this this one website, and the website was listing it for £1,300, which is
Ooh,
uh
200 quid over.
which is 200 quid over the retail. I'm just gonna double check what it was in
Too
dollar
expensive
reduce.
anyway.
Too
Everything's too
expensive.
expensive.
Too expensive. In terms of dollars, it would have been nearly $2,000. As at the time of recording, the current exchange rate is I think it's like $1.42 to the pound, so it's like $1,900, something like that. And I'm just like, do I? Don't I? Do I? Don't I? Yeah. So I hesitated for like the slightest fucking moment, and in the end, I'm like, fuck it, whatever. I was expecting to pay like the £1,300. I was like, whatever. I hit the buy button, and it says, and it came up with an error. Error, you cannot buy this product. It is out of stock. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Oh,
Well, I hesitated for like the slightest of seconds, and bearing in mind this is about like 5. It might have been even 5 minutes after like 2 p.m. Maybe something like that. I was so tired. Like all last week I had like barely any sleep. Then this came out, so I had barely any sleep because I had to wake up early for it. And I'm so fucking mad. I couldn't get that Ti. I'm so mad. Because I've been wanting to get a 3080 or a 3090 for like a long time, and you just can't get them. They're just snapped out of existence, pretty much.
It's such nice cards. I've got a friend of mine who's got a couple of 2080s, and even those are amazing. But like, I can't see. I used to build PCs a lot, and I've started getting back into building them again, having a couple of years break. And that couple of years, I've seen graphics cards. I don't understand. I don't get. I know it's because of a shortage of capacitors and all that, and I do get that side of it, and COVID not helping as well, and they're all being used up for the consoles, which doesn't help as well. But like processors, you can buy a really good processor for around 200 quid, right? Maybe 250 if you really want something good. But if you want the graphics card, you're paying over £1,000. It's like, what? It never used to be like that. When did that, like it all changed, man. It all changed.
Yeah, it's so annoying because like I'm sat here with. I mean, I know it's. I'm not gonna like brag or anything, but mine's better than yours, Flatline, right? I've only got a 1080.
Graphics card, yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I've got a good processor, but I've got a 760 in mine, mate, because I can't. I just can't get one. You know, I can maybe get a 1080, but I don't want to pay 600 quid for a 1080. I
No,
don't. You know,
I
like
mean, at that point, you may as well just get yourself like a 3060. 3060 will cost you the same price.
exactly. Well, the 1080 is still so expensive. But to be honest, I only need to run things in 1080p. That's the reason I don't really need anything above that right now.
Yeah.
And then
I
I'll
think
build
it's
up for a new
799
PC.
them for that.
They're still quite expensive, mate. To be fair, you got 1660, haven't you? And they're doable. I might actually end up getting something like that because this is eventually just going to be the streaming PC.
Yeah,
So
I feel
I
you
don't
on
need
that.
anything
The thing is,
too
that's what I'm
amazing.
saying. The only thing I struggle if I'm streaming any games with my graphics card, the only thing I struggle properly on is Warzone if I'm doing it for the PC.
Yeah, but
But
you're
that,
running the stream and doing it all through one PC, aren't you? Like,
yeah,
I'd just be using it as a stream PC and using a separate PC to run the game. So,
but
but
I can do like Rocket League and all the other games. It's just Call of Duty. That thing just saps your GPU.
I'm not
Ugh.
surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but that's a very modern game anyway, isn't it? Like,
Super demanding of your
Well, like Sea of Thieves, I do
CPU
for
and
the
GPU.
PC and stream, and that one I don't have much problems.
yeah, but Sea of Thieves is, I mean, that was, when did that come out? Like
That's quite,
2017,
it's quite
2016, something like that?
quite a while ago.
I want
I
to
thought it
find
was
out.
218, 219. It's been out a couple of years, maybe. I don't know. Actually, time goes so fast. I lose
It
track of it
does.
all.
It's before Division
2018,
2.
March 2018.
Cool.
Yeah, there we go. So
Well,
we're
Pirate
close.
Legend. Got Pirate Legend within three. I think I was in the top 100 to get the Pirate Legend on that game. I'm
Oh
pretty
mate,
sure.
I remember they had like an alpha like beta type of thing, and hang on 2 seconds. Um, sorry, I can feel a sneeze coming.
Oh, there it goes.
There you go.
Oh,
I
Oh,
tried to get to the mute button. I couldn't get to it in time. I'm sorry,
oh.
guys.
It wasn't that bad.
But so yeah, I was in like those test things that they did, and I think I played it way too much during that test. That when the game came out, I think I played it like maybe once or twice, and then that
It
was
was
it.
just a grind. Early
Yeah.
game, it was just a grind. I mean, you could either do PvP and like, which literally stopped all grinding, or it was grinding. If you got into a fight with people, I mean, we did enjoy going out in PvP, and we had some brilliant times on that when you had a good crew and you pull up next to someone and literally just jump on their ship, you know, when you got good at the ship. But it was either PvPing or grinding, and there's no in between. Because if you spent a while killing humans, man, there goes like 3 hours. And you
Hmm.
could have been grinding those 3 hours. It was quite bad. And there wasn't that much to do in the game, but now there is. So
What's
anyone
there's
that
quite a
hasn't
few
played Sea of
quests.
Thieves, I'd highly suggest it.
I was gonna say what is interesting is I've got a video up on my YouTube. I think it was the same day the game came out. It was me, you, Flatline's brother, and I think it was Gibbs. I think. Uh,
Gibbs.
not Gibbs. Sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Josh AFC.
Josh
Hmm.
AFC. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. It was
We had some fun on that.
us four, and it was the entire Kraken fight, and I had it. I recorded the whole thing, no commentary. Just like I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chuck that on YouTube because people will be interested to see what the Kraken's like. Because I think it was like quite a rare thing to happen at the beginning of the game, right?
It was only the only boss in the game at the point. You
Yeah,
didn't have megalodons, you didn't have ghost ships, there was nothing like that. It was just the Kraken.
yeah.
And you'd
Get
always catch you on
Skullfort
the way
still
back
in,
from
yeah?
Skullfort. Yeah, that's what we used to do is Skullfort grind. There's certain points. What you'd do is you'd get a Skullfort, everybody would go back in a party, you'd join a new server, one person would keep joining a new server until you could see the Skullfort in the distance, and then everybody joined in, quickly do that one. And people used to swap servers constantly. That was
Damn.
the way that you used to grind, but because there wasn't enough content in the game.
Yeah, it's a
There
shame,
is now.
really. But now there's so much. Like even when I joined in, I was like, what the fuck is this? And there's a giant ass shark, like a megalodon, like chasing the ship. I was like, what? I was like, excuse
Five
me.
megadons. I remember I would join with Inferno and that a while back, and I'm like, "Don't worry, boys, I'm a pirate legend." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come on in. I'll come on in." And I'm like, "I don't even know how to tie my shoes anymore. I'm a
What, when,
pirate legend, but I'm
what, the
useless."
first time we played together, Flat?
Yeah.
I'm there. All I don't know what Flat was doing. But this was like mixer days, wasn't it, when we first done that?
Yeah, definitely the first stage of
So I've
Nixon.
gone up on the mast because it's like foggy as hell, where the fog was ridiculous. So I went up and I would just go, iceberg! And Flats just down there just go, do 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 do. So I run down. I was like, iceberg, turn left, and the next minute crash. I was like,
Full
cheers,
on left
Blair.
turn. But that ain't coming. It ain't happening.
Turns your fucking ship into the Titanic.
It literally was a Titanic moment, man.
I'll do fair. I did actually do an edit. I screen recorded this like when it happened and put the old "and my heart will go on" as
Oh
the hit.
no! Oh no!
I remember that. I remember that, man.
You just had
I mean,
a band of violinists playing at the end.
We
It's like,
survived it somehow.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think you
It
went
was,
down and started repairing, and I was just trying my best to steer around these things. There was some really good moments in Sea of Thieves. If you can get 4 of you together, even 2 of you, I mean, it's okay solo, but it's a lot better with at least 2 of you. And the things you can do in that game, you can't do in others. You know, it's different enough to say definitely try it with friends. You know, it's such a good pirate experience.
yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. Do you speaking of pirate games, actually, do you remember there's one, I think, is it Ubisoft? I think are making, but
Skull and Bones.
it's Skull and Bones. I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's been delayed for a long time, hasn't it? I'm sad enough to know all these games that are coming out because that's just what I do. My missus is like, all you think about games. I'm like, no, I think about food. You
yeah, that
know,
one's meant to be the next Sea of Thieves, wasn't it? And it keeps getting delayed.
it's been delayed a lot. Basically, it looked like it was going to be a bit like Black Flag, but multiplayer. But it seems like it was almost finished at one point. It seems like the end game wasn't good enough. That's my guess, and that they just went right. We need to make something that's actually going to keep people involved because it was going to be one of those games that was going to hold people for a month and then be lost. You know, and they don't want that for 5 years' work.
yeah, no,
I like
So
exactly.
Outriders.
yeah, I suppose. But Outriders, I think I don't know how. I have no idea how long Outriders took to make. I'm assuming it only probably took 3 years,
2 weeks,
maybe
mate.
less.
Took 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Nice Unity asset flip. Throw it in
Yeah.
there. Lovely. Job
Yeah.
done.
Nah, it probably took them the better part, like I would say, like 5 years, something like that. But the problem is like they had these issues that were present in the beta. They said, "Oh yeah, now we fixed them," and then they fixed them. The game came out, and then there was so many like game-breaking bugs. You had the inventory wipes and stuff like that that were happening to people, and it just felt like they were very slow on the ball to get like fixes out. And instead of fixing things like the within the very first week of the game coming out, instead of fixing like these game baking bugs, right?
Baking.
Game baking bugs, yeah.
Nice.
No, the game breaking bugs, right? They they decided to go, oh, actually, we're gonna nerf the times of these two like expeditions because people were clearing them too fast and we don't like that. And then the other thing they did was they nerfed one of the abilities because a lot of people were using them and they were like, oh, this ability does too much damage and we don't like that. So instead of fixing things, they decided to nerf things, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, that makes no sense. Like,
Always going to
just
put the player base off you do stuff like that. Always. I mean, I
yeah,
think some of their problems were server side, and that's what took them so long because like inventory wipes and things like
The
that. That's
connection's still
server
bad
side
now. Last
issues,
time I tried it, it was
is
still
it?
after they said they fixed them, like the connection stream multiplayer. It was still horrible. You're still getting red bar ping and all that lot, even though you're running on console with another console. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, it made no sense. It seemed to be like I remember at points people telling me it was fine if you played like old gen and old gen, but if someone played old gen with the new series or new gen, it would just something about it syncing not right. I don't know if it's between the 30 and 60 FPS.
nah, whoever's host, they're fine. If you're not
Ah,
host, you're in the shit.
yeah,
Basically,
right.
with that
Okay,
game.
cool. Okay. I mean, let's talk about games that are coming up for like E3 and that. Are you guys interested in Starfield? Is that something that's catching your eye or
What was it? Starfield.
is this
yeah,
the one that
Starfield.
Bethesda are making?
Yeah, it's the Todd Howard new one, mate. So yeah, it's
I'll
one
just
that
watch.
he's
I'll just watch the trailer now.
have you not
Yeah.
seen anything about it, mate?
Uh,
It's
See,
I d-
basically Fallout in space. That's what they're calling it, but no one's seen it properly yet. It's only a couple of leaked screenshots and that, and it does interest me, especially it's going to be on Game Pass day one.
See, what I'm interested in more is Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, I wonder if we should see that this year. It's George R. R. Martin and mate, he's behind Dark Souls and all that, isn't it?
Yeah, I really I want to see what they do with this game because like just from what we've seen, I think we've only seen like trailers and CGI, I think, but
Bit of CGI, yeah.
yeah, it looks
Putting
good.
on that arm.
Like I can't wait for it, man. I really hope we get to see some of that this year, but that's another one of those games where it's so hyped now that I fear it's going to end up becoming a new Cyberpunk.
I think companies have learnt from that. I think there's been a lot of game delays because of what happened with Cyberpunk. I mean, I'm gonna my hot take on Cyberpunk. Brilliant story, brilliant main missions. Side missions are a bit repetitive, but the world itself is buggy. It's buggy, and it needed to be. It needed some fucking defogging in there, man. Some definite bug spray in there. I don't know. Not even bug spray. I'd say just drop a fucking bug bomb in there
Just drop a
because it
nuke
is
on it.
bad. It is a bug nuke, man. It is
Yeah.
bad. I mean, but if you don't get
Developers
those weird
don't like.
bugs, then
Yeah,
it's good.
developers are on pressure to actually get the game out without like thinking. That's the problem. They don't want to delay things because they know if you delay it, that's when you get the bad rep.
Well, they say to their investors, game publishers are saying to their investors, it will be out this quarter or whatever. And if they don't make that quarter, then it looks bad on them, and they'll get less investment next time.
And the
So it
thing with
carries
it
on.
though, they delayed it like three. They rolled it back 3 times, didn't they?
Yeah, that's why they
And
couldn't
they
delay it
yeah.
anymore because they knew they'd lose investors like good faith. But then at the end of the day, now they've lost gamers' good faith, which is even worse because then the investors aren't going to invest in something that the gamers aren't going to buy.
Mhm.
So it's catch 22. The game looked amazing though, and the characters are amazing. There's some good parts in there, but there's some really bad parts. Like the cars aren't very good, really. The driving's a bit weird at times. Like the race in there, the race like side mission is terrible. The fact that you can't buy other houses and upgrade your cars and other stuff like that was promised in the game. There's loads that is just completely
You know what I'm
missing.
looking forward to?
What's that?
Battlefield 6 for decent. Like I need a new FPS.
There's this talk though that Battlefield 6 is going to be 64 player versus 64 on new gen consoles, but there's some talk that they reckon it's going to be 32 versus 32 on old gen. I don't know if that's true. That is just a rumor. There's also a rumor that it's coming to Game Pass day one, but that has just been rumored for a while.
I need a new. Yeah, I just don't know. I just need a new like proper FPS. I need.
Oh,
There's a few other games we've got coming out as well. Ones that are pretty much guaranteed to come out is at E3 is Forza Horizon 5. It's supposed to be set in Mexico, isn't it? You guys heard about
Nope.
what you say, Esse?
that?
You say it's coming in Mexico?
It is, man. It is. And we got
Nice.
IO Interactive and Xbox are working on Project Dragon. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. It's the guys who make Hitman. And Xbox have put together to start making a game, and they're calling it Project Dragon. And apparently, the developers have been looking forward to making this for a long time. So they've just been given the backing from Microsoft to do it. I have
Nice.
no idea what it's going to be like or anything. I've no
gonna-
idea. I mean,
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon Part 2. Oh, we got Avowed as well, haven't we? We've got all sorts of games that might
See,
be at Xbox.
What I really want to see is I want to see them reboot Scalebound.
Oh, yes. I don't. Yeah. It
They-
was too ambitious for its time. I mean, I remember watching the gameplay demos, and the frame rate was so bad, man. Like, it just was never going to run on the Xbox One. It was too ambitious, but it could now on the Series X. But I don't know. I think there was some bad blood that happened there. It was just too ambitious, and it couldn't scale back enough to run on the Xbox properly, so they canned it. And then there was some viciousness between the developer and Xbox because of what happened.
Hey,
It would be amazing if we did see it again, but I mean, did you guys ever see the first gameplay trailer? It just ran so bad. It was like 15, 20 frames max.
I
I
mean,
remember watching it. It was horrible.
yeah, it was. I mean, we're current gen now. They could be able to bring it back, but speaking of E3, by the way, like so If for those that don't know, the schedule that we have for this podcast is that we're going to be recording on a Sunday, right? As
Yes, mate.
yeah.
Is it 3 o'clock on a Sunday?
What
E3.
E3? I'm not sure, but basically, what's happening is the dates that are set according to Google. I've had a look. The E3 2021 will start on Saturday, the 12th of June, and it will end on Tuesday, the 15th of June.
What
So
date is? I think the 15th's the Microsoft conference.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. We'll find out.
I think it's the 15th.
Here we go. I can find a schedule for you here. In fact, I'll bring it up. Okay, give me them cookies. There we go.
That's what I'm trying to find. I'll go on there, so you just
Okay,
give me into a
so
wormhole.
Saturday at 7 p.m. We have the Ubisoft event.
Should be interesting. I want to see Far Cry 6 a bit more. Kind of interested, kind of not. Far Cry really hasn't interested me since Far Cry 2.
We have Gearbox also on Saturday.
What have they got to show? What's
I'm
Gearbox
not
got
sure.
at the moment?
I'm not sure.
Maybe
We have
another Aliens for Colonial Marines.
Xbox and Bethesda on Sunday at 6 p.m. So essentially, we'll record this podcast and then afterwards. So maybe we'll change the if you guys. Oh wait, no, we can't because I'm working Sunday. Shite. Okay, so maybe we delay the recording of the podcast until Monday if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll chat about it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm flexible to a degree.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off. I was about to say off stream, but off air. We'll talk about like delaying the recording so we can do this. So speaking of which, we'll talk about the release schedule that we'll have going forward though of this podcast. We're going to be trying. I say trying. The idea is us three. We're gonna be recording this on a Sunday, and then have it edited and uploaded for Monday. Give or take, depending on if I fall asleep or not. It is what it is. So that's the idea. So the release schedule of the podcast should be Monday. However, next week, because of E3, chances are that release schedule will either be a Tuesday or a Wednesday, depending on like how much sleep I get and stuff like that.
It makes sense, mate. It makes sense. It gives us time to talk about E3 as well, because I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about. When I was younger, I used to get a little bit excited about E3. Nowadays, I think I'm a bit more jaded, and I'm just like, man, I will watch it. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not hyped about it. I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait. I mean, it is what it is, At the end of the day, I see it for more what it is. It's more just companies trying to get your money, which is cool, I appreciate companies working hard to try and get my money in it, I do look forward to playing games, but I get a bit cynical about companies nowadays. I'm a cynical man. Like,
let me list off some other dates here. So we got
yeah.
Xbox and Bethesda is Sunday. That's at 6 p.m. apparently, and that's going to be an hour and a half.
Is that UK time? Or?
UK time, yeah. This is
Okay,
all UK times. Square Enix is Sunday as well. Apparently, this is going to be about 8:15 p.m. In the UK. So this will be about a 40-minute long thing. So we'll probably see more of. I think they are releasing 16. I think they showed Final Fantasy 16 last year, so we might see a little bit more of that.
It's console exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's Sony exclusive, right?
For a while, yeah. For a while at least.
We got got the PC gaming show is on Sunday, but they haven't confirmed the time yet. But it's apparently going to be after 9 p.m. But
that's worth a watch. I quite like watching that because you get the occasional gem in there. I mean, things like Age of Empires and all that, but probably on the Microsoft. I do like my strategy games still. Got a soft spot for them.
Warner Brothers apparently are doing one on Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's going to show the new Batman / multiplayer thingy, isn't it? Arkham Knights, it's called.
I think so, but apparently they're going to be showing Back for Blood. If you guys,
I'm looking forward to that, man. I was speaking to Inferno about that last night because he's never played Left 4 Dead, and I'm like, man, like Left 4 Dead, amazing.
So you got another one, which is the Future Gaming Show, which is going to be on Monday at 12 a.m. So basically midnight on the Sunday.
Okay.
That's going to apparently feature like people like Sega and Team 17.
Surely that should be like past.
Oh
Is that in the future? Is it?
oh shit! Apparently Laura Bailey's going to be hosting it. So that's going to
Oh,
be
fair play.
interesting. Yeah, if you don't know who Laura Bailey is, she's a voice actor. In fact, Troy Baker and Laura Bailey, they're video game, they're voice actors and stuff. But Laura Bailey, she does the voice of like Jane the Proudmore, but she's also famous for Critical Role. If you guys have ever watched that,
I haven't, mate. To be
no.
honest.
Critical
No.
Role is like a big Dungeons and Dragons show. There's a whole bunch of voice actors that get around and like play Dungeons and Dragons. This is really entertaining. Really entertaining. Can't recommend them enough.
Cool.
Capcom apparently have got one on Monday. That's at 4 o'clock in the UK. They're 4 p.m. Two.
Getting on strides. They really have been working in the past few years. Capcom have impressed me. You know, it's not a company that I thought would have come out and started nailing stuff, but with their remakes and Resident Evil and the way they're working with the new ones of Resident Evil, plus like they've got tons of other games that are bringing out that are actually really good.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles apparently releasing over here in the West. So that's gonna be cool because I love Ace
Nice.
Attorney. 2K. Sorry, I'm literally just going to list these off really quick here. So Monday apparently you have 2K again. There's no set time here, and you have Tuesday. Nintendo are doing those. Nintendo are doing their one at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Again, this is all UK times. So, and this we're in British summer time now, so it's 5 p.m. BST. So whatever that is in your time, you can literally. This is the interesting thing, by the way. You can go on Google, literally type in, like, say if I want to know what 6 p.m. EST is, you literally just type 6 p.m. EST, and then it comes up telling you the exact time it is in the UK. So it's really cool. Like Google knows what you're trying to do. You're trying to convert time zones, and it's pretty cool. Bandai Namco.
Google's too clever.
Yeah, it is. Bandai Namco are doing one on Tuesday, and they're going to be apparently. That's probably where we'll see Elden Ring. If that I think they're the peak publisher that.
You reckon? Because last time it was shown with Xbox, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they're apparently the publisher that have Elden Ring, so
Cool.
we should probably see that there. And then Sony and EA are absent from E3, but okay. So EA are doing their EA Play on July 22nd, apparently. So that's not at E3, and Sony aren't at E3 this year as well. So
I don't know why Sony aren't here this year. I understand last year, but I don't get it. I mean, I know they did that State of Play with Horizon, and that looked good. But
that's
why not 83? Why not? Have you not got enough to show you? Apparently, they've got like 24 games in development, or if not more. So
they just want to separate themselves from E3 by the sounds of it. No idea why, but they decided to do it. Yeah, they decided to do it anyway.
Something to look forward to, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It gives someone something to look forward to. I mean, like if you're a Sony fan, you want to see what's coming out. I don't get it. I mean, I know it'll save them a few million, but it surely can't hurt to have more.
They want to be inclusive to themselves.
Well,
that's what they want. They don't want to be. They just want to when they want to do their games out. They just want to do it themselves. They don't want to be roped into what Freud said. They don't want to be part of E3. Have the hassle of going. Oh, we're only gonna give 5 games for the trailers and that lot and all that lot. Where they can take their time, then release it when they want to release it instead of getting pressured in to when E3 want it.
It's true. It's true. Definitely, I can see where the bonus from that, where there's less pressure on the developers to get stuff ready for certain times and stuff. But I mean, it's always been a staple E3, and these announcements once a year, they're always quite nice to have because you've been waiting to see what's coming up. But Sony must have a plan for it. They're not stupid.
Yeah, I think it's E3 is akin to Christmas for gamers, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone gets excited for it, and then there's these big announcements that come out. and it's just a really good time. That's what everyone looks forward to.
And let's say because of COVID at the time, it's like
no, before COVID even happened, they were already planning to step away from E3. Yeah, they want to do. I think they call it like state of play, something like that, and they hold these like events for like, yeah. So they're essentially trying to do what Nintendo do, because Nintendo do like
Nintendo Direct.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Switch Pro? Possibly
No.
this year? Have you not? Oh, there's rumours that there's a Switch Pro coming out, and they're going to announce it at E3. It's been rumoured for about 4 months, and people keep saying it's coming out next week. It's going to be announced, but no, it probably will be at E3. OLED screen, 4K capabilities when you plug it into the dock.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
But sorry, excuse me. They've rumored this for a little while now. That every time there's a Nintendo Direct, everyone says Switch Pro, Switch Pro, Switch Pro, and then like it doesn't happen. So maybe this is the time. But
I've never had a Switch, but I heard good things.
I would imagine if they do a Switch Pro, imagine that to be shorted so hard, like the new consoles. Like how many times have you ever seen like one of these new consoles come in stock? You just don't see it. It's like
I'm surprised you managed to get one, mate. I feel like I got lucky getting mine. But you got one as well, so there's two of us in quite a local area.
I'm gonna piss off a lot of gamers. I got both of them. I got the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, both on launch.
Oh god, none. I'm joking.
But
they're hard to get hold of.
When those got announced and they said, oh yeah, the pre-order times are such and such time, I was there. I stayed awake to make sure to get those, and I was very lucky because I think like within the matter of like seconds after I put in my order, they instantly came up saying like unavailable. I was like, oh shit.
I think I got lucky because I was using that all access thing. So I paid £28 a month or £28.99 a month, and I get my Xbox for 0% APR plus Game Pass for 2 years. I'm paying off for that, but it's 0% APR, so you're literally paying nothing than what you wouldn't be buying the console and getting the Game Pass separate. It's such a good deal. When I clicked on that and reserved it, it gave me a half an hour slot to keep it. So I was just manically typing in my details, like quickly. My missus was watching me, and she's like, "What are you doing over there?" I'm like refreshing this until it works, and she's like, "It's not going to work." And then like an hour and a half later of me refreshing, it come up, and I was like, "Oh, I think someone failed the credit check," so it gave me an opportunity to get in there.
Yeah, some poor bastard's like, "Oh no, why?"
Yeah, he clicked go, and it said failed, and it set him back to the queue, and he's just like, "No."
He's like, "I have money in my account."
We lost power to his tablet or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be. He could have just lost his internet connection. Could have just gone down, mate. You know what I mean? He might have had fine credit. Everything might have been. That would be so harsh. So harsh. I mean, at the time when I bought that, there was none in stock normally, so I was having to just constantly refresh, and I just got lucky.
Yeah, man.
But that game, the all access thing, if someone's trying to get hold of the Series X or the Series S, always check the all access. It's a good deal. You're not being stitched up. It's 0% APR. You'll pay the same over monthly as you would buying it straight out, so you might as well. So cheap, man. So cheap. Craig again. Stop putting in Craig.
You see that one flat? That's you sliding in to get that Xbox.
Sliding in to get the Xbox, man.
But
I'm trying to think of other games that I'm looking forward to at E3, but we've got a few, to be fair. But I mean, there's some rumors of Outer Worlds 2, isn't there?
Yes, yes. What I wanted to say really quickly is one developer to really look into, because they always deliver, is Devolver Digital. Their E3 announcements are godlike. They're so funny because
they make Hades.
Let me just double check.
I think they did. I mean, I know they do a lot of smaller games like that, and most of the time they're on point. They really are on point. They don't do it.
Supergiant Games is who made Hades. No,
I
Devolver
would have thought it was Devolver.
Devolver Digital. They've made let me. They made they make did they make Fall Guys? Um, no, they didn't.
No.
No. You know what?
You're gonna check out what games they made now, aren't
I
you?
am. Yeah, they've
Yeah,
made
I
some
forgot.
insane games though.
They made that West 4 Dead and other stuff like that. I've played a lot of twin stick shooters they've made, and they've always been solid. I mean, I'm not the greatest fan of twin stick shooters, but when one gets me, it definitely gets me. I'm looking forward to that Ascent, actually, guys. You seen that?
No.
It's called The Ascent. It was one of the first games that was kind of teased for the Series X and that. It's imagine a cyberpunk kind of twin stick shooter, but a lot more in depth, more RPG elements, and it's multiplayer.
And less buggy.
Oh, I'd hope so. It's coming out in a couple of months. So you can pre-download it now, I think, on the Series X. I think.
Oh damn!
We've
So it
done
must be.
Serious Sam for Devolver.
I know.
Devolver did Serious Sam.
Mm-hmm.
What a
Oh.
game! I remember the first one, man. What a game!
But,
Talking about the old days of just playing like LAN with friends. That was one of the games that you would play. You'd bring around your
They done
PC,
my
Serious
yeah.
Sam.
Yeah, they done My Friend Pedro. That's quite a cool game.
It looked
Yeah.
good. Never played it.
If you ever watch their E3 announcements though, they are so like off the fucking wall. Is amazing. It's like they're like the Elon Musk of fucking gaming. They just don't give a shit, but in a good
Definitely
way.
give that a
Like
watch.
they give a shit, but they don't give a shit. If that makes sense.
They don't take things too seriously.
Yeah,
It's 'cause
yeah,
That's
exactly.
all their games are like chilled out indie games, aren't they? They're not like serious.
But like you don't get
in-your-face.
like someone coming up. Wait, I mean you do, but you don't get like someone coming up on a suit going, here it's fucking bullshit developer land. We strive for blah blah blah, and then they start spout. Every year, 1 million gamers play our games, and we're proud of blah blah blah. And it's like, just show us the fucking games.
Yeah, stop padding it out.
Yeah.
When they come out going, we're not giving you an extra summit, but we'll give you the mobile version.
Oh,
What, Diablo?
Yeah, Diablo, that's a crack. Yeah, and when they said we're bringing out mobile with like pay to win option type things.
The funny
then
thing
they-
about that was at BlizzCon, right? They announced Diablo Immortal, and it was a mobile only game, right? And they have like a line, like people can like line up to ask the developer like questions, right? And this guy like lined up, and he goes, "Is this an out of season April Fool's joke?"
Yeah. It was brilliant. I mean, I like the way the developers they got booed, and then he turned around and goes, "What? Do you guys not have phones?" And it's like, do you really expect Diablo people? Like, read the crowd. You know what Diablo people are. They're PC gamers.
Mhm.
They want their same game. You come up to them and say, I know you've been waiting years, but if you can just have this piece of dog shit on the floor, that will probably do you for a few more years, right? We're not going to tell you about, but they are
but
talking about Diablo 4 now, aren't they? Finally.
Yeah, but that just proves what Freud says about Evolver, how they present. Like when Diablo presented, they literally had no clue that they were all rigid. They just they were uncomfortable at the time. You could see in their face, so they knew they were fucking up.
Do you guys not have phones? Wow.
Do
what a
not have
fucking-
phones?
Uh.
That just means so bad. It's mean so bad.
Oh, I tell you what. Speaking of fucking memes, I've been getting like emails from Apple recently, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, we got this conference on such and such day. I think it's like coming up soon, right?" And I'm just sat there thinking, yeah, but if I restream this fucking thing, I'm gonna get DMCA'd again and lose my fucking channel.
The
Can't believe
MCA.
Got that from
So,
if you were to stream E3, you wouldn't get that, right? I
as
don't think you would.
far as I'm aware, you should be okay to restream E3. But the problem here, right? So what happened was Apple did this event. It was a month or two ago, right? So if you weren't aware, I'll tell you the story real quick. So I was like, yeah, it's an event. Like companies usually, for the most part, like you restreaming and like adding your own commentary on top of it, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I did the event, hunky dory. I watched the event on my stream, hunky dory. I provided my own commentary. It wasn't just a direct restream. And then about a couple of hours later, I'm sat at work. I say I'm sat at work. I'm standing at work, and like my phone goes off. I'm like, oh shit, it must be important because like nobody like messages me like when I'm at work for the most part because like most of you guys are asleep or whatever, right? So I'm like, shit, it must be like really important. So I looked and it's like, yeah, you've been issued a copyright strike. I'm like, excuse me?
Oh,
And yeah, I had a DMCA takedown notice from I believe it's the company that filmed the Apple event. I'm just like, oh shit. So now I'm just very wary about like restreaming any event at all, and like as much as I'd love to restream some of the event on like this weekend, like I'm not going to. I'm not going to. If
I'd be
anything, I'll
safe
do.
than sorry after that. I would be the same. I'm not going to stream it just in case because, like, you gave them free advertisement. You did give them free advertisement. You were talking about the stream. You weren't being negative. It was all positive. It was all good, and yet you got a DMCA takedown. It
Yeah.
baffles me. Baffles me.
It just brings it back to the YouTube copy strikes scenario coming into Twitch. So
Well,
you all got the email the other week, didn't you, about it? Like they were saying the people were like doing your previous videos. They're sending their program in to try and catch people out, aren't they?
Yeah, I
uh,
heard about that, but
No,
I've
and
never
Twitch
had
aren't
one.
doing it.
So
It's just
yeah.
other people trying to
But
just get
here's
money, aren't they?
here's the thing though. On Twitch, you have a 3 strike policy.
yep,
If you get 3 DMCA strikes, your channel's just terminated.
there's no bringing that back either.
Indefinite
It is what it
suspension.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
indefinite
unless you're
suspension.
like a huge streamer, then you might have a little bit of leeway, but they still
Yeah,
kick him off.
yeah. I mean, for someone like me, Twitch wouldn't get Twitch, like as much as I enjoy Twitch. Like Twitch don't know me. Twitch don't give a shit about me because I'm not one of the type. I'm not one of the people raking in the big bucks. You know what I mean? I'm not like people like XQC or Asmongold or someone like that who are like right up there. They get like thousands and thousands of people like watching, subscribing, giving bits and stuff. Whereas someone like
Yep.
myself, like getting a subscription is like, it's like a fart in the wind.
Like a fart in the wind. I
Like
realised
in terms of like the money that Twitch get, right?
yeah,
It's
I know what you
yeah.
mean.
Not I mean obviously like anyone that does like subscribe to me, I'm really thankful for. Like I mean, I do tell people to like give that subscription to someone else because like I do it as a hobby. I don't do it like for the monetary gain. But I'm still grateful for anyone that like does support me in that way. And that's the same with this podcast. Like it, I pay for the hosting, right? I pay to get it hosted on like an RSS feed, which I then can put onto like Spotify and iTunes and all the other podcast places. Like usually they pick them up like pretty quickly. So yeah, so things like this podcast, for example, I'm putting in my own hard money, and like I don't expect anything. You won't see a Patreon or anything saying, "Oh yeah, support our podcast." Like I don't give a fuck. Like I do this as a hobby. This is my hobby, and like most hobbies, you tend to put your money where your mouth is. Like gaming's a hobby, right? But like
Yep.
and you pay for most people pay for games. I know you have your yar mateys, but there
Your
are people that
pirates.
yeah. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, you should do that or you should don't do that. Like I mean, everyone has their own morality. They can do. I'm not gonna condone things. I'm not gonna say this is right, this is wrong. Um, but like for shit that I do, like I do it because I like doing it, right? I don't do things for like the monetary gain. I just do it because I like doing it. Like
It's your hobby, isn't it,
yeah.
man? You've got, like you say, you've got a full-time job. You've got everything already. You just do it for the extra, just something to do, something to enjoy, man.
Hmm.
I mean, if people enjoy that as well, then all the better, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's the same with me.
exactly.
I use it as a hobby. It's just like my chill down time.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't now. it's funny because like I'm sure someone will probably end up going like through like the list of like shit that I've said in previous years or whatever. And sure, like maybe in like a few years ago, and this is the thing about like people as a whole, right? People change, right? Like it's part of like who we are. We learn about who we are, like, and life is always like a learning thing. And sure, maybe at one point in my life I did want to make it big. I did want to like, you know, be like successful in terms of YouTube and Twitch and like have that like as like a main like career kind of thing. But now, I mean, I think I'm like content in my life, and I just that fucking gif that Inferno just put in our chat, like I'm not the man I used to be. Yeah, but yeah, no, I like people do change, like, and that's the thing. People forget that, like, and I'm not gonna take a serious turn here, but like, you know, you have people that dig through like these celebrities and internet celebrities, like previous tweets from like 10 years ago or whatever, right? And they dig up something that isn't acceptable now, right? And it's like, and they say, oh yeah, he said this like 10 years ago, let's cancel him and stuff like this. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute. That was 10 years ago when like these types of like edgy humor and like jokes were like deemed acceptable, right? Like, but now obviously these types of jokes aren't acceptable, and we learn from that. Like, I think as like a society and stuff, we learn that like making an edgy joke and stuff like that isn't as acceptable as it was back in the day. And you know, obviously we learn, and I can bet my
You got to
bottom
change
dollar.
with the world.
Yeah, and I bet my bottom dollar that the same person that 10 years ago made like an edgy joke like this, like on their Twitter, for example, right? Or said like certain things that aren't acceptable nowadays. I bet you any money that they're not that type of person like now, and I bet you like they wouldn't make that type of joke now, and they know that it's not acceptable. But you know, and this is what I don't like about Twitter now. Like, this is why like a lot of social medias like I steer clear from, like Twitter, Facebook, and stuff, because a lot of it is just cancel culture, and I don't like that. It's like it's cancel culture. It's negative. It's like you're always moaning. It's always like,
Too
oh,
many trolls under the bridge and they're waiting to pop out. Like
it's
one thing.
well, it's not so much that. It's like you go on there and it's just people just like just it's just negativity like all the time. It's like, oh, cancel this. This person did this. It's like I don't fucking care. Show me something positive. Show me something that's like has like inspired you. Show me something to like that's been good in your day. You know, like I don't want to see like I don't want to see, oh, such and such person fucking shit his pants. Like I don't care. Like
The thing is, the only thing I've got Facebook, but I don't actually use it.
About
So
Facebook, I haven't used Facebook in a long time. I'm
the
so
only,
bad
the
with
only
my
other
social media.
the only other social media I use TikTok, but I only use it for the funny videos that make me laugh. Apart from that, that's it.
I say I've just been really bad with someone who streams, right? You know, you can catch me on Discord, but other my social medias, I'm really quite bad with. I've just never been. A few years back, I kind of just drifted out of social media. I'll tell you what, I got bored of just seeing how people like pictures of burgers and that. And I'm like, I don't care if you've had a burger today, man. Just come
yeah.
take
Oh,
pictures of
cheers, Fat.
burgers,
That
and
was
I'm
my
like,
burger. That's it. I'll send you burgers every day.
Hey,
I mean, you do that on Discord, mate. I'll end up coming off Discord. It's actually saying that. It's like I hate burgers. I don't hate burgers. I love burgers, but too much of one good, too much of a good thing.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of too much of a good thing, I think we've how long have we been going for? I mean, we've been going for a little while here. Like I know for those because I didn't really did I do an intro? I think I did it an intro. I can't remember.
A little
A
one. We had a little one.
little
Yeah.
one, then we waffled.
No,
Then
I mean
little
like
one
I think I
again.
did like an episode 0 where I talked about like how long like what the podcast's going to be, how long we would talk for, and I think I said that we would aim for like the 1 hour mark. Maybe it'll go a little bit higher, maybe it'll go a little bit lower than that, but roughly around an hour of just like chatting about things, stuff like that. I mean, you never know. The E3 one might be a little bit longer because you know it's E3. There's a lot to talk about, but uh, you know, and if you follow our socials, I do have. I know I've literally just talked about like I don't really use Twitter much, but we have like a Realm of Fries Twitter if you guys want to follow that. Other than that, if you jump in my Discord, I've actually got a section for the podcast, so I will somewhere there'll be a link for the Discord channel as well. I'll try and put like everyone's socials in there and stuff like that, like the Twitch links and stuff, in the show notes. But yeah, we'll try and have all that there for you guys. Definitely jump into Discord because that's where I know a lot of us are more active on. I know, like if I message like you two, like you're more than likely to see it on Discord than you would on say like a Twitter or something, right? And that's yeah, and that's the same here. Like I think realistically, like going forward, like definitely join the Discord, like the chippy as I call it, like. we've got to
make sure you get your last portion.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we've got a section there, like a text channel for podcast. We may end up doing like community stuff, like this using the stage rooms and stuff, which will be pretty interesting. I know they're pretty fun to do.
I can sing for you, Fries. I'll do a karaoke night for you.
Oh no.
Yeah, but yeah. So we're gonna be what else are we gonna do? So I don't fucking know. I mean, we talked about stuff anyway. It is what it is. But that's going to be it for episode number 1. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, to listening to us talk about like a bunch of random shit for like an hour and however long. I don't know how to end this. Goodbye, I guess. Alvita
That's
say.
how we roll.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
Yeah. Inferno out.
Yeah, so from Flatline Plays, thank you very much for listening, guys. If you'd like to catch me on Twitch, I'm over there on Flatline Plays, but you could come and give me some abuse. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
That's Flatline Plays with a Z, right? So not a
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I think if you type in Flatline Plays with an S, it still comes up with me, so we're all good.
For now, until someone like takes the S.
Yeah, someone's gonna take it.
Wait a minute, let me just set an account up.
That'd be Inferno.
Oh dear. But yeah, that's it from us, guys. We'll see you next week. It might be a little bit more delayed from because obviously we talked about it being a Monday release. Because E3 is happening, we may end up delaying the episode until like later on in the week, so we can talk about everything. But we'll discuss that later. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Right, take care, guys, and we shall see you in the next one.
Peace out.
I mean, it's not like a professional thing. We're not like, you know what I mean?
What? I put my suit on for this shit.
Yeah, it's the same, man. I'm not in my boxers at all.
Oh my god. I might just take this a little bit because I did hit the record button. I might just take that and put it at the end. Just do like a little outtake thing, just like boop, and then just go. Yeah, we're not like a professional thing. And then, oh man,
in my suit.
But yeah, it's So it's just like we are just before I hit the record button, just chilling, taking the piss, having a laugh.
Not too much swearing, I'm assuming.
Oh, you can say cunt all you want.
Okay, cool.